And let's go. I think we're live. We're finally back to doing a little bit of coding. Last week, we spent quite a little bit of time. I have a print string in somewhere. Also, actually, hold on. There we go. So last week, we spent quite a bit of time. Let me adjust my volume real quick. There we go. Getting these animations to be somewhat better. And then we also worked a little bit on these animations. The last of which is still a little iffy, if you ask me. But now we're going to take that and we're going to do some coding magic with it. So the basic idea of what I want to do today is going to be relatively straightforward. What we're going to do is when we want to attack an enemy, and an enemy is more than some distance, we'll have to find out what that distance is, away from us, we want to do a specific other attack that doesn't increase our attack counter or whatever. All that it will do is just... that's going to require a couple other issues as well. Well, we'll figure it out. All it's going to do is just do the attack close to distance so that when we try to attack after that again, we will be closer to the enemy and we'll be able to just do our normal attacks. That's only going to be happening at the start of a combo, I think. Or whenever that happens, it will reset the combo. There's going to be one or the other. We'll have to figure that out. The more important one is going to be if we end up in a situation where we have a lot of enemies around us, we also want to do a specific attack to deal with that. So those are the two things that we're going to need to code in some detection for and then make abilities, more specifically, like change some abilities around a little bit to make that work. So that's the plan for today. Let's open Rider and let's get started with this. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to clean up some of the existing stuff that doesn't do anything anymore, because we've got this do special attack, heal MP. These don't do anything. These don't need to exist. We've got this entire function here which is commented out for healing. That's now a gameplay ability. We don't need that anymore. We have a set is healing bool function. We don't need that anymore. Our attack function here is good. Same thing here. We have set stats. Don't fucking need that anymore. We have gameplay ability system taking care of all of that for us now. It's still going to be a big class. But like a lot of here, combat pools. This is also dealt with in the gameplay ability now. There's a lot of stuff that I've wanted to get rid of for a while, so let's do that before we do anything else. Like we don't need this anymore either. And then we'll head into the header file in a moment and also delete the function declarations for those. But this used to be almost 1,000 lines of code. We're down to 776. So that's a good thing. Now, anyway, let's look up our attack data as set.h. It's not used anymore. I love Rider. It's just like, I don't need to include this. I don't need to include that because I'm not using... still got a lot of includes here, but it's a player character. It's gonna happen, right? Anyway, I want to go to the attack function. So the attack function at the moment is actually very, very, very easy. All that it does is it checks if I am knocked back, hanging off of something, or if my weapon for some reason says that I cannot attack. If so, it early returns, and otherwise it just does this thing, checking whether or not the attack counter is less than the amount of attacks that the weapon has, just to prevent like out of range index issues, and then hold on, what the fuck is this? So if it is less than, and if it is greater than or equal to. So this actually doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, I don't know, man. Since I've been sick, my throat is just absolutely killing me. I don't know what it is, but it's really annoying. So what does this say? This says if attack counter is less than current weapon attacks num, and then immediately we jump into a but that doesn't. No, that doesn't work that way. That does not work that way. I don't think we need this if statement. If I'm being real with you. Oh, that's the wrong. There we go. Because it was checking whether or not it's less than, and now it's checking whether or not it's greater than or equal to, and then it will reset combo before trying to activate the ability anyway. So this is as simple as our attacking function is, because all the actual functionality exists in the gameplay ability. But now, what we need to do is we need to check closest enemy distance. But we'll only do that after we make sure that we have less than a certain amount of enemies around us. So check surrounding enemies. And I already have some code for that, which is somewhere in here. In update nearby enemies, I think it's in find nearby enemies. Find closest enemy. That's almost it. Is it find? Update nearest enemy. This just is a very, very long function that probably should be split up into a couple of different things. Yeah. I'm just gonna copy over some of this shit, to be honest with you. So we're just gonna sphere overlap actors. And that's gonna go right the fuck over here. So what we do is we have word context objects as this, and then let's just overlapping actors is going to be the out actor array. So let's make that one T array a actor pointers overlapping actors. I think a bird is fucking dying on my roof, because of course they would. Actors to ignore, I think, is also just an actor array, right? Can we just like is there an like an overload for not having that one? Because I don't think we need to ignore any actors, if I'm being honest with you. Let's just make it for now. Who cares? Actor pointer. Is it how you make a array? Am I just losing my mind actually? Yeah, it is. Okay. I don't know why I thought for a second there that that's not how you make an array in Unreal. How is everybody doing? I should also set my chat to a live chat and not top chat. I don't know why it does top chat by default. Okay, then we have the player location. This should probably be a F vector, I'm assuming. F vector player location is equals to just get actor location. Pretty as easy as that. Then we have a float for radius. Technically speaking, I guess you don't need a variable for that, but I feel like we might as well. The radius, we're going to do like 500. It's going to be relatively close by, right? This is the value that we're going to need to tweak, so maybe we should actually just make this a member variable, to be honest with you. So we can easily tweak it in editor, but we'll see. Then object types. What does this need? Let's see. The TRA type query. Oh, that's true. We're just gonna copy that over from the other one because I don't want to be bothered with it. Let's see, object types. So yeah, we set the thing here to pawn and game trace channel 14. I don't know what game trace channel 14 is. It's hidden. There's a file somewhere that tells you what it is. It's just fucking impossible to find. So we're not gonna think about that right now. We're just gonna copy it over and assume that I knew what I was doing when I made this. And then the thing that we're looking for is only like filtered on a pawn. I guess since we already have like a include to the base enemy class in here, I think we do anyway. Let's check that out. So yeah, we have enemy.h. So I guess we can filter on that as well instead of just pawn. That way it'll only... I think that's better. Yeah. Where the fuck is the function that I'm looking for? I guess the easiest way to find it would just be to search for it. Oh, there we are. So I guess we can just make this a enemy instead. Get that static class. Yes. So then we simply check if the overlapping actors that we just made .num is greater than, let's say, greater than 3. So that's 4 or above. That seems somewhat reasonable. Maybe. It's going to be difficult to test that out, but what we'll do is what will we do actually? A current weapon. Weapon's going to need a couple more variables on it to support this shit. Where is my weapon class? Right here, apparently. So we have our what? Oh, there we go. Weapon variables. We have our special attacks. Why is that a... Why is that an array? Oh, no, it's not an array. It's not an array, never mind. It's just... Yeah, okay. Probably should just call it special attack then, eh? This will be dash attack. And then this will be area attack. And sometimes it's just as easy as that. So, with that in place, when overlapping actors is greater than 3, what we'll do is we will try activate ability by class. We're going to actually just copy this entire line over, not only that bit. Because the only thing that we do need to change is actually the thing that I copied over, funnily enough. And then this will be the area attack. All that said though, I only really want this to happen at the beginning of a combo. And right now it will do this check every time I press the attack button. So we'll probably wrap this in an if statement. So if... Yeah, we'll get back to that in a moment. I think it's just called like combat attack counter. attack counter. I think that's the thing that we're looking for. Only if that's equal to 0 do we want to do all this shit. So let's put that in. And the same actually goes for the dash attack as well. So I'll have to wrap that in here as well. That said though, once we activate that, we do want to return. So that we don't do both. But otherwise, I don't think we really need to do anything other than just say, hey, activate dash ability. Like that. This is really, well, no, we need to check the distance to the closest enemy actually. Closest enemy, actually, does that have like a distance? Oh, I didn't know that. That's really nice. So it works the other way around. We just have like this actor get distance to that actor, right? Is it deprecated? Expression result not used. Yeah, okay, but we're gonna put this in an if statement. So if that is like less than, let's say 1500. That's nice. I've consistently been doing it with like f vector distance is equal to like closest enemy, whatever. It just has a pre-existing function for that. I should look up that kind of stuff more often, or just try it out. Specifically with like Rider being not a piece of shit with its IntelliSense, unlike VS Code. VS Code isn't bad. It's just a little slow sometimes with the autofill. Anyway, we just kind of do this, right? And then we do the dash attack. And I'm going to be real with you guys. This is about 90% of the code for the proximity-based combat system. I'll lie to you. We're going to do animation again. I don't know. We might need to do a little animating again. Assuming that this even works, that is, right? So, let's try it out. We have an animation for this that we can just like at least temporarily put in there. For this, we might need to like make a quick animation, but let's rebuild and see. Anyway, how's everybody doing this week? Many people participated in the GMTK Game Jam? I sure did. Oh yeah, that's true. I have a bunch of I have a bunch of functions that I declare and now don't do anything with anymore, like heal MP, for instance, and some other stuff. Combat pulse, for instance. I mean, it's blueprint callable, but it already didn't do anything, so... it doesn't do special attack. I guess we bind that to... Wait, what? First and foremost... What the fuck is going on? I guess we removed that as well. So we bind it to something here, but we don't need to do that anymore. Because I guess we are dealing with that differently. I might be breaking my entire game, by the way. Just for shits and giggles. Does the dash button even do anything anymore? It just activates an ability. Okay. The hell is this? all these functions don't exist anymore. I wonder how many of these variables also don't need to exist anymore. I don't think we... Yeah, we removed those. A lot of white space here. Or black space, I suppose. That sounds kind of sus. Open gameplay menu, I guess... I don't know why that is a blueprint implementable event, because we're not doing anything with it in C++. Set stats, does that still exist? Does it do anything? I don't think it does anything. I don't think it exists anymore, to be fair. Yeah, it only is called from here, so I don't think... I don't think we need that anymore. So let's... and it says no blueprint usage, so I'm gonna trust Ryder on that one. Test broadcast just straight up isn't used anywhere because it was a test function. And then we have a bunch of input actions and stuff. Okay, I think we're now at a point where it shouldn't error me out anymore. Okay, I'm still calling functions in places, apparently. Oh, my tick event is still a fucking mess. What the fuck? If is healing? I don't think I need any of this shit, I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of all of this. And that's going to make our tick function a little bit smaller anyway. Probably should make this into its own function as well, but hey. Let's try to build again. So this healing is, yeah, okay, that makes sense. We don't need to bind that anymore. Slowly but surely we're getting to the point where I have all my very messy legacy code figured out. You know, I knew that today was probably going to be quite like straightforward to implement the feature that I wanted to do, so it seemed like a good day to get finally to get rid of all of the bullshit that I've just been keeping around in case I need it for like the last 6 months, right? And I don't think we are going to run into the case where I need it anymore. Anyway, so there's one tiny issue. And that's what the gameplay abilities themselves. So if I go into my blueprint here and my characters, player, gameplay abilities, I have my sword attacks, just like my basic attacks here. But I think it increases the attack counter inside here somewhere. So yeah, here we go. It does it in here. So when actually like the montage starts, it increases the attack. So now what we could do is we could do a bunch of different things to like retrofit this and make this work slightly better. The way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to put in a branch. I'm just going to put in an if statement to check, hey, does this ability increase your combo counter? Yes or no? Because that's the easiest way to do this, frankly. Because if I do that, I can just reuse all the little shit Don't need to print this string anymore. I can just reuse all this other shit without having to like make structural differences to my project or any of like these abilities. So we're simply going to like put in only one branching node. Increase attack counter. If true, we do that. If false, we just immediately go into that. And that's all there is to it. The default value is going to be true, apparently. That's what I wanted to do. That's, yeah, okay. Sure. Don't new bulls usually get a default value false? I don't care. And now we can just copy over one of our sword attacks and call this. I really shouldn't be calling them BPSA. As sword dash. We'll open it up. Oh, we already have it open up apparently. And then we'll copy it over. No, I actually, oh, that's not good. No. This should just be sword attack 1. But there already is a sword attack 1 in here somewhere. What the fuck is going on with my life? I guess the redirectors are just a little confused. So we can right click, update redirector references. About to load 450 assets. That can be only a good thing. Surely nothing is going to go wrong when I do this. Sure. Fucking yeet 'em. Now that that is done, I think we can upgrade this or change this back to Sword Attack 1. No, we can't. Why not? The Sword Attack 1 does not exist in here, right? Am I going crazy? Yeah, it doesn't exist. We'll get back to that later. I just realized that we have it up and a down anyway, so we can just reuse those. Fuck that. This will be a sword forward. Sure, okay. And then where in the fuck is the other one that we just had? Sword attack up will be sword around. I don't know what to call them. For the around one, at the very least, we have a very probably should close this one. Just oh, that might be why. Hold on, now that I have that closed, can I don't know, man. For the around, I think we just use the scythe attack 3, right? Because we had, yeah, that's effectively like it's a bad animation, but it will do for now. And then for the other thingy, jig. Characters, player, cast, play abilities. For the forward attack, I guess I don't have an animation really. So I guess for testing purposes, we'll just do like this one. I don't even know which one that is. Sure. We'll make a proper animation for that in a moment or later. I don't know. I honestly don't feel like doing too much today, if I'm being real with you. But we have the default sword. We just won't be using the scythe for a bit. We have the dash attack, so that will be sword forward. The area attack will be sword around. Let's see how this is going to crash the engine, because if I know one thing about my life, it's that it's going to be crashing the engine. Okay, first and foremost, it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. When there's no enemies nearby. That's not good. When there's an enemy nearby, at least it does something. But when it's really nearby, it doesn't do anything. What the fuck? What in the world? Wait. Why is that not connected? Why is this not... Oh, look. Like, what? What? Okay. That can't have been the issue, though. Yeah, it's not. Also, what in the world is printing hello? Something somewhere is printing hello. Is that in my player character itself when I press the attack button? It is, okay. So what did I do to mess that up? Let's take my code. Knockback, hanging, current weapon can attack, return. If attack counter is equal to 0, we do this. Return. I guess we do also... and otherwise, we move on to here. Like, if I put in an else here, Rider is going to make that grayed out, right? It's not? When would this ever... First and foremost, this is not going to fix... Oh, it's going to gray out that return. I mean, either or works. Doesn't really matter. But why? Why? Closest enemy is less than 1,500 units away. I don't understand what's going on here. None of this makes sense. Yeah, I've got Sword Dash, which was Sword Attack 1, but I just stupidly renamed it. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Special attack is the teleport attack. The dash attack is sword forward. Like, all this makes sense. I guess what we should do for troubleshooting reasons is the base attack is like print string real quick. Get class name. Maybe. And we get class from this, and then we do that, and then we do that, and this should now print out, I think, let's also get rid of this event tick. I think this should now print out the name of the ability that we're doing whenever we're doing anything. So let's try this out. It's just not activating anything. Which makes sense, because it's not doing anything. That's sword dash. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah. When I'm close to them... Okay. Also, hello, Alex. Welcome to the stream. I still don't have my chat overlay now, do I? Yeah, sorry about that. I keep forgetting to set that up. So what I think it is doing is it's doing the normal attacks when I'm further away than 1500 units. Right, so if attack counter equals 0, which it does by default, it first checks this. Obviously, this isn't true. Right? Like, obviously... I don't even want to fucking U-log anything. Then it checks if the distance is less than 1500 units. If it is, it does the dash attack and returns. Then it checks if the attack counter is greater than or equal to current... I did remove an if statement here that I didn't think was necessary, but maybe it was actually doing something. But it wouldn't make sense that that did anything, because what I removed here was if, like, attack counter is less than current weapons number, and that was immediately followed by this. So, like, it's going to do it if this is the case, and then immediately do this anyway. What's confusing to me is how this is somehow only triggered when this is true. Like, what I can do to try to find an answer here is just say when attack counter is no, but no, never mind. I can say I can check if attack counter is greater than 0 and then just do this. But we also need to be able to do a normal combo from attack counter 0. So what actually is happening to make this behave like this? Because this doesn't make any goddamn sense. I'm going to get rid of the if statement here real quick. Just to see if it does anything. I'm going to be real with you. If this changes anything at all, I'm going to be even more confused. I don't give a shit about restoring that stuff. I'm going to be so confused if this changes anything. Because literally the only thing that I can think of at this point other than that is that it would be... Yeah, it doesn't change anything. Why doesn't it change anything? Oh, did I do a oopsie? Did I do it? No, I didn't. This didn't save though. It's also weird. Actually, what's going on? Because I don't understand. None of these variables are relevant. It's not even like attempting to do the ability right now. It's not. I would be inclined to think that it is something to do with me removing all those other functions and me not being able to like do any attacks whatsoever because of that. But the weird thing is, if I get close enough to an enemy, it actually does do an attack. So like I can't attack here, but if I just walk forward a little bit, like the moment he comes into view, until I'm at... Okay, something different is going on. Because when I don't have any enemies nearby, it doesn't let me attack at all. That is a separate issue. Then when I have an enemy that I'm locked to, I can attack. Until I get within that 1500 unit radius, at which point I again cannot attack. So we actually have two issues going on here. Number one is... we're not granting those abilities. Okay, hold on. That's one thing. We're not granting those two abilities. We should be granting those two abilities on begin play for the weapon. That's might be. That's very easy to fix though. Because on begin play, we just do an ability handle add here. Fucking this for these two. I don't really care. And the ability that we'll give is, in this case, the... what do we call it? Dash attack? And the area attack. Welcome to the stream. So now it's also granting those two abilities, and it's already just doing a for loop here to get rid of all the abilities on end play, so that should be good. So that should take care of one issue. The other issue is somehow it's not letting me do attacks when there's no enemies nearby, and I no idea why that could potentially be the case. Unless... did I? No. I was going to say unless something about this is... what the hell? Unless something about that sphere trace that I copied over is also overriding some other kind of weird value that it's checking somehow, somewhere, but I don't think that it would be. But it might be. Let's just recompile and see what this does. Because there might also be a situation where it's trying to do the area attack because it is seeing more than 4 actors that's overlapping with. Because it somehow isn't like doing the class filtering properly or something like that. I saw a lot of red going by there, that's not good. Well, it's building, so I guess that's a good thing. Why does this work now? And also, why did it start with that other weird one? That's just a dash, but that shouldn't. Oh, I probably need to check. Okay, no, that makes sense. I probably do need to first check if closest enemy is something valid. Otherwise, that distance is probably going to just return a value of 0. Yeah, so trying to do the dash attack. And then that makes sense because the dash attack is still... Okay, let's go through this one step at a time. We're getting there. We're getting there. I thought this was going to be very straightforward, and then it wasn't. Mostly because I'm being an idiot, to be fair. Well, we have... I can actually change this back to Sword Attack 1 now, right? Fuck off! Why not? Okay. So yeah, the issue is just Sword Attack forward is increasing the attack counter still. And then we also have Sword Attack around. Okay. It's good shit. Now we have all that in place. We first need to check if closest enemy is valid and then get the distance to it. And that should have fixed all the bugs. No more bugs in my entire game. It's the last bug that'll ever exist in my code. After this, I will lead a bugless life, and it will be glorious. And my game will just finish itself without me having to do anything else, and life will be good. And then we'll all go to fucking Disneyland. Let's check this out. Okay, first and foremost, that's the proper attack. That's good. Now, proper attack. Yeah, remember when I said nothing? We need to check whether or not the distance is... greater than, not less than. And let's make this like 750. Yeah, let's make it 1,000. 1,500 might have been a little much. Actually, it'll do it from any distance now, right? Unless we're within 1,000. So, let's just... We need to just figure out what number works through trial and error, which again means that I probably should just make this a member variable and I can just change on the fly to test this out with. But that would be smart. Well, I don't do smart things. I only do stupid things. Like streaming after doing a weekend-long game jam. That's a stupid thing to do. But this should pretty much fix that. So the dash part of the dash attack doesn't work yet because I don't have a animation for it that really like fits very well. So we'll figure that out as we go. But now that I have him in my... Yeah, so now he does that. Now he does that. Of course, that's supposed to close the distance when I'm close enough. And when I'm in the middle of a combo, he also doesn't do that. That's perfect, really. Now, on to the next part. And that is, will I do the swoopy around attack when I am surrounded by enemies? Like, at least 4. What is the collision here for something? What the fuck? What is this collision? What is... Okay, gotta look into that. That's weird. Also, let me check. I just got a text. Okay, I don't care. It's just spam. Okay, moment of truth. If this works, I will be happy. I don't see any reason that it wouldn't work, but you never know. Okay, you guys all fucking sliding around, sure. That's... I mean, it works. Animation could be a bit faster, but... I mean, that's really fucking good. Probably should have more knockback on this attack, to be fair. And I think its radius probably should be a little bit less, because it seems like it's very trigger happy with doing that specific attack, but aside from that, that's actually like pretty fucking good. Okay, that one does miss quite a lot though. I don't know why I'm actually doing like proper combat practice here. I don't need to be doing that at all. Yeah, so let's go back to my blueprints. And then like characters, player. I'm actually going to add this one to favorites as well. I've been trying to like get into a habit where I can like actually use Unreal's features sometimes, like favoriting folders. Okay, so first and foremost, we have the forward attack. There we have him. Took a moment to get there, but we do got him. We do got him. Which will have like an attack range of like a max of 1,000, I would say, because we're registering at least 1,000 units away. Maybe even 1,500. Like, it should be a very long range attack, and we can change this on a weapon by weapon basis, obviously. We might actually... that's a good point. We have it hard-coded now. It probably should be a variable on the weapon. We can change that later. That's not that big a deal. Also, this is a bad attack montage to use here because it doesn't have any forward momentum. So we're just going to use sword... Oh, thanks, Black Hole Labs. That's really, really kind of you. That's, thanks. Always happy to provide content and always happy to see people appreciate it enough to, like, drop a super chat. Doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it makes me happy. Well, people appreciating the content happens a lot. People throwing money my way. Patreon does it a lot, to be fair. How are you doing? I am doing actually like remarkably not horrible after spending a weekend doing a game jam and then immediately jumping back into this project. It's kind of fun after spending so much time and energy into a different project to get back to this. So that's kind of neat. And then also I think what I want to do is for the around attack here, I want to set the knockback to like fucking 300 or something like that. Something much larger. Now, can we just load game and do spawner tutorial, please? Yes, we can. Good. I'm having a heart attack because of Blender. Fucking story of my life. Yeah, you see that has some fucking distance on it, right? That has some fucking, maybe a bit too much, but that has some distance. That's at the knockback and doesn't scale with timing, so that's not great. I think even, frankly, this could be going up to 500, but at that point, I probably want to. I thought like the knockback ability did tie its power into how long it takes, but apparently not. Today I started using Blender and I was watching your tutorial. Thanks, helped me a lot. If you're just starting to use Blender, I would recommend checking out Blender Guru's donor tutorials rather than the stuff that I've been making, or I made like a while ago at this point. He goes into things like a lot more step by step on like a very like fundamental level. It's every like year or 2 years he does an updated version of it when Blender has some major updates. So there's a lot of versions of it, but just like find the most recent version of his donor tutorial and follow those if you're trying to like get into Blender and you're just starting with it. I think that's generally a good place to start. Also, why the fuck does this still have a print string? Okay, so yeah, we have the montage stop, whatever. This is supposed to... Yeah, so it probably just doesn't scale that well, I'm guessing. So what I'm doing here is get ability to some components. Set attribute knockback. So it does knockback divided by enemy weight. Okay, so it gets a duration from just the enemy. Wait, what? Enemy weight? No, no. I think it should be getting the duration from the knockback. Matter of fact, it should probably just be getting the duration. Like, let's see what this feels like, and then we can tweak it from there. Yeah, so that definitely needs to be a lot fucking less. Or more, actually. Because what it was doing is it was taking the enemy weight, dividing it by 0.75, which is a weird-ass fucking mathematical thing to do. And then applying that. I guess we'll just try to see what this does. It's been a while since I made this. It's weird. Remember to fix your weird ass random collision box. Yeah, I'm gonna forget that, but thanks for the reminder. Gonna look into that in a moment, actually, because it's probably just like an invisible actor that's still there. Can you tell what you're working on right now and what you plan? Okay, so right now I'm working on improving my combat system so that it's a little bit more intelligent with what attack it does at what point. And within that, I am working on an issue where I need the knockback for attacks to just be bigger. What the fuck? Where did they go? I don't think they died. I think they just... Yeah, they just now teleport instead, which is nice, I guess. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, this was how it was working before. So what is the weight, like what kind of like range of values am I giving in for their weight? Because this just works, right? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. Random collision box before I forget again, because I ran into that like a couple of months ago, I believe, as well. Now it's not this level, it is right over here. There isn't anything. Right? There isn't anything here. Like, at all. Let's disable everything. Except for this level. And then just go through one actor at a time. Let's see if we have anything. Might be like a blocking volume somewhere that I'm not seeing, or just level. Why is there so many level doors in here? What the fuck? Wait, what? Oh, those are all in the persistent level. They probably shouldn't be. It's really weird. It's a trigger box. That's definitely not it. I'm really quite confused by what could be causing this. It wasn't more around here, right? Well, we'll figure it out later, I guess. I mean, more like, what's the game you're working on? Does it have a name? No. No, it doesn't. And that's an issue. That's the most difficult part about making this game, is I still don't have a name for it. I've been working on this fucking thing for like 2 years. It's really quite sad, actually. It's gonna have a name at some point, because I'm gonna need to make a Steam page at some point. For now, it's Action RPG. But yeah, no, it doesn't have a name quite yet. It kind of is like a 3D dungeon crawler, though. I think that's actually a pretty like apt description of what it is. The basic structure, I'm gonna go over like real quick, and then hopefully not get too distracted. I get distracted a lot. So the basic structure that we have in place is, let me just like load everything in because my GPU is gonna love that. Is that we have like right now what we're going through is like the tutorial area, and that's gonna need to be revised anyway. Just ignore all that. Then afterwards, you get like dropped into the middle here, and these doors all lead into connecting dungeons. So in that regard, it is kind of semi-open world-ish, Metroidvania-ish, except with the Metroidvania, you tend to unlock new powers, which then unlock new parts of the map. That's not the case here at all. You can literally just go into any of these doors and start going through the dungeon that's behind it. And those dungeons are also interconnected. So if I go through this door here, you see the purple door. There's a bunch of levels here, which all have like purple themes and lighting and stuff. But you'll also note that one of these levels over here has a door in it that has a red outline. And that's because this door actually leads into a level in the red dungeon, and vice versa. You can see that we're in the red dungeon here. Doesn't really have any content yet, it's just a block out. But it leads back into the purple dungeon. So everything is straight up just connected. You can just run around and never come back to that central hub area if you don't want to. And from there, it's just beating the dungeons. Each dungeon has 3 keys that you need to get to unlock the boss door, which you get in various different ways. One through platforming, one through combat, and one through different, something unique. And then you just get to fight the boss fight. Once you get defeat the boss fight, you gain its weapon, and the entire game difficulty goes up a little bit until you get everything, and then you obviously have like a final boss fight, which, man, I'm not ready to think about the final boss fight yet, but that's the basic rundown of the game. So it has a lot of elements in like between the gameplay feel and the like game design and the level design between a lot of different types of games. So I have a hard time like really putting a genre on it. So that's why I say just action RPG, because that's actually like explains nothing. Well, 3D dungeon crawler is actually probably like better than what I personally have been calling it, which is just an action RPG. So I'm going to steal that. That's a good one. That's that. Where the fucking hell? Ground, basic demon. Where are my character sheets? All my data tables. Guess we can just find it through here. Ability system component. Okay, so what the fuck is your weight? Your weight is 2. That makes a lot of fucking sense suddenly. Okay, so there we are. So what this is doing is it's taking a value of 2, dividing it by a value under 1, which again, fucking why? Why not just multiply it by like 1.2 something? And that's setting the duration. But that makes no fucking sense. So what we should be doing is like, this is about 100. It's getting divided by 2 to get the distance and the height. And we should be also using this value, and we can then divide that, which actually just like this. And we can divide this by like 150 to get a working duration for this instead. I think this 150 is just a number that I pulled out of my ass. To be very upfront about it. Well, that's welcome to game design. Just pulling numbers out of your ass until something works. That actually is remarkably close to what it was before. That's honestly impressive. So, what does this look like when I do this now? It becomes a little floaty, admittedly. But it's actually pretty good. Okay, so why does that last one not have any forward momentum? It should have forward momentum. Why doesn't it have forward momentum? Can I say forward momentum more? Yeah, I can say forward momentum quite a lot. I'm going to stop saying forward momentum though, because it's going to get annoying real quick. Sword attack. Why? Question mark? Oh, I think it just doesn't have... where is it? There we are. Hold on. What? Why doesn't it do anything? I guess we can also set this up to 1,000 because it might just be out of range ever so slightly. 500 units should be enough. $500 units should be enough, but maybe it's not. It doesn't move forward. Why doesn't it move forward? The only way that I can hit these guys now is if it's just moving forward too late. Oh, that's a little embarrassing. I don't know, that doesn't feel like it's too late, but let's see if this makes any difference. looks adorable from a design perspective. I kind of am glad that it does, because like this little guy is supposed to kind of be cute. It's supposed to have like in way less of like a amazing implementation than the original, but it's supposed to have like the Pikachu vibe, where it's both cute but also like cool enough to the point where it's not like overly cute, and it can also like be used in like action scenes. So I think that that does work quite well. Like, he has a big head, yeah, but he also has a badass like sword. He's got dark colors, he's got horns, that kind of stuff. So I think that works relatively well. Underlying story is that's something that I'm taking a little bit from Dark Souls. Dark Pikachu with antlers. It kind of is. Like, honestly, if this shows up in Pokemon Generation 25 or something like that, right, it kind of fits. If it's like the pre-evolution for the furry bait in that generation. Like the Riolu. It's not moving forward that much. Why is it not moving forward? That's the thing that's weirding me out. The fact that it should be moving forward more. I do seem to be hitting things more significantly now. Or more... what's the word I'm looking for? Not sustainably. Consistently! There we go! Man, my brain's not braining today. It seems like it's better, but I don't think it's fixed quite yet. I don't know, man. So yeah, the story is going to be told environmentally. There will be a few cinematics in the game, just to like introduce boss fights and stuff like that. Like if we go to... Hopefully this one has everything unlocked. Yes. Like if we go into this boss door, it starts with a little bit of a cinematic, right? And it will also end with a cinematic. The ending cinematic is not finished yet. It's really rough. This one is like, it needs a little touch up, like that hand sliding through the sword, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, the camera position there being fucked up. For the most part, like this cinematic is roughly what you can expect all the boss fights to start as. Just to like spice things up, to make them a little bit more dynamic than just, hey, you're in a room and this is now the thing that you're fighting. Like, let's introduce this guy a little bit, right? Again, this is a very rough like placeholder cinematic, just to like have things function, because this cutscene also like actively sticking out his ass. This cutscene is also actively the thing that physically gets you into like the main part of the game, which might not be a great way of doing it, but it's the way I'm doing it. So that's the only like story-ish stuff that we're gonna have. Aside from that, like everything is gonna be purely environmental. So that means that there's gonna be a lot of art assets that I have to make to do that. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna do that, but I'll figure it out. Like I do have like not as much of a story as just like general lore written out for a lot of this stuff, and that's helping me inform the like the level design, and mostly from like a thematic perspective, not so much from a gameplay perspective, but sometimes also slightly from a gameplay perspective when I can like think of something neat. But yeah, it's a little bit soulsy in that way. There's not going to be any like items. There's the weapons that you can cycle through, and that's it. It's going to be like fairly straightforward gameplay wise. And also, well, the doors lead to different dungeons, lead into different environmental regions. Because it looks very much like the same tunnel. Yeah, so this is the this all is just like tutorial area, so it's all like this aesthetic that we're seeing here. If we go up to like the purple dungeon, which is the only one that at the moment has art in it, you can see Like these materials are placeholder for all the rock, but you can see like this suddenly has a lot of skulls, and if we actually set the like scalability to something workable, that's actually a little bit dark. But this has, I'll just set it to unlit. I need to relight some of this. Oh, and with unlit it doesn't show you the materials properly. Of course it doesn't. Maybe if I set it to low? Low actually makes it worse. Maybe on the outside. Oh, here you can see like this is all like purple bricks, and you can see like those little specks are supposed to be wetness. They kind of ruin the effect. We've got like these like skulls going up into the texture, scrolling, and here we like you can see some more art assets being placed in. So we've got all these like coffins. So this is like the graveyard area, like the catacombs. But that does need to be tied in a lot more in some places. Like for the most part, at the moment, it's just being lit by skulls. Go back to at least medium settings though. But that is like there is some like different art direction going on in each one of them, and then of course, yeah, this one is just literally Unreal basic materials because it's just placeholder. Or it's just a block out. It's just like, this is how big the levels are roughly going to be, and then we'll actually design the levels when we get to that. I haven't gotten around to it. At the moment, I'm focusing on the combat and then fixing up some more of this purple dungeon, and then we'll move on to the red one, which is going to be... I don't remember which area that's going to be, but it's going to be significantly different. I think the red one is going to be the church area. There's going to be like an underground like church, religion, cult, whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be themed after that. So there's going to be probably not a lot of stained glass because you're underground, but you get that point. All that said, though, what were we doing? I frankly just do not remember. This is what happens when I get sidetracked. It's really fun to talk about this kind of stuff, but it's also like, oh my god. So yeah, this animation is just placeholder as well for now. I had this for a different attack at some point. Maybe 2 times a little too fast. I think we can start you a little later. Start time can go up to here-ish. We'll make that a little bit more responsive, hopefully. That's the wrong save file anyway. Well, that allows me to say to show off like we have a little bit of like a platforming thing going on here as well. This probably needs a little bit more art in it as well. A lot of my areas still need a little bit more art, but just a little bit of basic platforming, like going from like platform to platform. I even have like this hanging system where if you really suck at platforming, you get saved. You can dash in midair. Like the platforming itself is actually remarkably easy. It's just something that changes up the gameplay a little bit as you go, you know? Don't want to just only have you hacking away. Don't mind the growing enemy there. Don't want you to only like be hacking away at these guys non-stop. Should be a little bit of variation in some things sometimes. Yeah, see, that is a lot better. Oh, that's what we were doing. I remember now. So, Sword Attack 5. Let's just look at the base class for this. Like, what even is any of this doing? If we have a closest enemy, we take the dash duration to the enemy location. Yeah. And it does that on gameplay event, movement, player, combat, dash. I swear this thing doesn't have a dash. Let's test it out. Cinematic actually adds a lot of value. Yeah, I really do like the cinematic. I think more games, like even made by small teams and solo people, especially like if you're using Unreal, which is really good for it. Like really good. It does have a dash. Just fucking doesn't move forward at all. Why not? I guess what happens might be... I don't know. That is a fantastic question. Why doesn't it? Hmm. Maybe it can just compensate with making the animation go a little bit more forward. I think that might just be better. Because we're apparently already very close to it, so the actual dashing isn't doing too much. I've also been thinking about changing the way my damage or my hit detection works. Because right now I'm just using a collision box that's overlapping, while a lot of other games will like use big sphere collisions on different frames for the hit detection. I might revise it at some point, but not right now. For right now, what I want to do is I just want to go into animations, characters, player, level sequences, and then we have sword attack. I think it's 5. Underground church called catacombs or crypts, I believe. Sorry, sidetracking you. I don't mind being sidetracked. It's my brain's just fried after doing a weekend of level design anyway. How is everything? Everything is burning down. It's not that bad actually. Things are generally pretty good. So I think what we should do is it's just going like straight down. I think what we should maybe look into doing is just like we have this full body thing, right? This full body thing. What if we just like go into like the curve editor here? And we try to find the Y location for it. And then this bit, what we do is it's just one frame as well. Holy fuck. Okay, this is gonna be maybe a little iffy. We'll make it work. I don't know if we'll make it work. I'm gonna try. There's no interpolation because it's only... that's easily fixed, though. Just set this to fucking 120 FPS. There we go. Right? No. Why not? That might be why not. What? Okay, so there's that value that I want to influence. I do think that we can just get rid of this keyframe, to be honest with you. And maybe now we have a little bit more wiggle room to like interpolate with these tangents. Or maybe we don't. Maybe I... What? What actually is going on? I don't think I understand. Everything lets me change things around except this last little bit. Actually, nothing about these lets me change. What the fuck? Yeah, this doesn't have any issue at all. It's the X and the Y position down, like being... What? Let's just fucking... The constant values. Why are they constant values? They are green. That's cubic. Break. Yeah. No. Cubic auto. Who the fuck said those two? I don't know, man. Does it fix it? Doesn't seem to change anything. What's going on here? None of this makes any sense. Why can I not use the curve editor for this? I must be missing something very obvious. I just don't know what that obvious thing is. So for now, for just like gameplay purposes, let's just put like that thing in there. It actually doesn't even look that bad, to be honest with you. Maybe pull this back a couple of frames, but aside from that, I should be doing that with a curve, but I just can't be fucked. That does feel better. I will admit that. Now the question is, can it actually hit stuff? Wasn't very sure if I should say stuff or shit there. Could you tell? You could probably tell. Let's see. Does that feel better? We'll see. I don't know, that doesn't really seem that different, to be honest with you. Why am I even testing with my mouse and keyboard, actually? I have a controller now. Fucking, let's use it. Oh, that feels so much better. I think the proximity based attack like this one should be triggering from a little closer by. Yeah, I think it should be triggering from a little closer. Which means more than 600. Oh, 6,000 units. No, more than 600. Holy hell. Maybe they should be greater or equal to 3. Well, it's too late now. I'm already rebuilding. But aside from missing extra animations, which can be fixed at any point in time, when I feel like doing animating again, which is not going to be for a while. Aside from that, I think we have the proximity-based stuff kind of working. Maybe. It's a little bit of tweaking still going on, obviously. New game? Yeah, you might as well. Actually... load game. Because some of my UI interaction doesn't work with controller yet for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, so when you're in the middle of a combo, it doesn't do that, but... it does a good enough job, actually, to hit something that you were juggling. And that's the thing that really matters the most in the end, so... Man, that last hit just keeps being satisfying, man. Your AI is still bugged, I still need to look at that. And the next round's not gonna pop up because the other two enemies didn't appear. Also need to look at that. There's still a lot of bugs to iron out as well. Is it raining? I think it's raining. Maybe I should close my window. Ah man, it keeps missing anyway. I don't know why it keeps missing. Oh, that's not good. So, yeah, that's kind of the issue with doing it in animation, is that I can only, like, just slice through a wall when I shouldn't. So I don't think that that's actually a good solution after all. Yeah, no. I think this solution is only, like, honestly, making more issues in the future. So I'm gonna nip this in the bud. We're gonna get the hell away from doing it this way. Just remove this fucking keyframe and we'll be good. We need to do it with actual root movement. I guess we can enable root motion, actually, on that animation. And move it back and forth, like, physically in space instead. Animate the root bone. Maybe. I don't know. Let me think. What should we do? Because I really don't want to make animations today. I really don't feel like it. And I don't think you guys want to see that either. Because anytime I do an animation stream, everybody just fucking leaves. Can't really blame you. It's not an interesting thing to look at. For some reason, people like me see me program though, which I think is potentially even more boring to watch. But hey, so what do we do? I don't know. I really have no inspiration. It's gonna be a short stream anyway today, but I don't want to like end it yet. It's only been an hour and a half. It's not like, it's not long enough. Let's just play through and maybe we can try to figure out that. Does the pink dot spiral? No, that's a telegraph for get the fuck away from this enemy. Because he's invincible while he does that attack. But I need to tweak that as well because it's doing weird stuff with different enemy skills and stuff. I don't know what it's doing, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's try to figure out the UI input thing. Let's see if there's like any obvious stuff that I can do with that. Where is basic text? I believe it is. Is it basic text? It's not basic text. It is. Why is there an enum in here for stat types? What the fuck? Actually, which widget is it? Where did I put that widget? I don't know where I put that widget blueprint. Unless it is basic text. Why? Button prompt. Oh no, it definitely is just basic text. Okay, good. I feel like I should be reworking how this works to begin with, because we have got next text. Oh, that's what. But huh? Okay, so we got on key down. Do we also have an on button down that I need to do? It worked with the different controller before, right? So I don't think that would be it. On mouse enter, on key up. Do we have a like button? Mouse button, mouse button, mouse button. No, that's not it. So for some reason, it's in the UI not recognizing my PlayStation controller. Like this is all done with PlayStation controller. Like I've got all these like raw inputs maps. That's not like an issue. But then when I get to these, like it even recognizes the fact that I'm using a controller, because it will, like when I change to mouse, switch over to mouse, and then I'll change back over to controller. It's just not recognizing the like button mappings, which is kind of weird. And I don't know if there's anything that I can do about that, to be honest with you. Like let's just real quick see if I can like print get key display name. It doesn't even recognize any keys being put in. It's probably just not recognizing any key inputs because it's from a generic USB device. So yeah, it's recognizing these keys. No, it is definitely recognizing these. Let's just hard code it in, I guess. So we do that as an OR, and then we check whether or not the key hold on. Input key is equal to generic USB button 2. Makes it non-remappable, but I don't care about this string anymore. But it was not going to be remappable anyway, because I can't be fucked to do any of that. See if this works. Nope. Well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Because it can get the display name of the key. So it does recognize the key inputs. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, like, at all. But it cannot compare it for some reason. Now I wanted to do new game. So that's weird. Wait, now it doesn't print the thing out at all. What? Why? What the fuck? Why? I'm so confused right now. Not load game, new game. I mean, something's definitely happened. It's not really. It's not really like what? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Why is any of this happening? We have this trigger volume, which is linked to level blueprints, combo tutorial. Has to be trigger box 2, right? Yes, it is. So that creates that. Set input actions to like this button prompt, add to viewport, to end screen. Like, this is just bad the way we do this, but sure. And then we set at the very end there the input mode to UI only. So why in the world, if the input mode is UI only, I mean, probably want to set the widget in focus to the widget that we just created, to be fair. How does any of this make sense? Like, answer, obviously. Okay, something weird happened there. We're just gonna ignore that. It spams. It spams the thing. No, so when I hold down the button on my controller, it just spams this every tick, and it doesn't like it when it does that. While for the keyboard stuff, apparently it doesn't do that. Which actually might just be a quirk of how the raw input plugin works. Does that mean that if I hold down the X button, that I'll just do a combo? It doesn't do that for gameplay. It only does that for this shit. I need to revise how this works, this whole widget situation, because this just doesn't. Just doesn't. So what we need to do instead is we need to just do this on input action attack. And then not set the... We're just going to copy over all this stuff. Put it in here and see what is relevant. So this is not relevant. None of this is relevant. Just starting with next text on started. Oh, that's it. It just automatically... No, but I don't know. Wait, what? This no longer matters. Player controller. Enable input on player character. So yeah, when one of these gets added, we'll just disable. Oh, that's the wrong way around, of course. We'll just disable the inputs on the player character and then re-enable it instead. So we can just like on event constructs, disable inputs. That way we will still be able to use the input actions for this. And that should make everything just so much fucking smoother and easier, I think. I might have just fucked up something else to do with like the common UI thing, but we'll figure that out in a moment, I suppose. Okay, that doesn't work. But this does. But that makes no fucking sense because we just changed this. Right? The fuck is going on? Does that have anything to do with this? What does this do? Actions. I don't think that actually has anything to do with it at all. Now I think about it. Maybe. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. Let's... Okay, so we have confirm here. So yeah, I think what we need to do is we maybe need to like default gamepad. Only has room for 2. It doesn't have room to add a third. So that's actually just bullshit. That's just not how that works. So, like, what actually is going on? Are multiple widgets active at that time? Maybe the widget to focus the issue. I don't think it is. Because it's the method of input is making a difference, and that's the weird part, right? So, like, if I just click through, works perfect. No issue whatsoever. If I then go through with my controller, it does recognize me as using a controller now, because it switched the icon, but it doesn't actually like do any input. And then I can go back to my mouse, and I'm back to my controller. Controller doesn't recognize the input. But it's also not recognizing any of this shit, so I don't like that. Actually kind of makes sense because this is still doing all that. So this probably like also just needs to like get the fuck out of here. That doesn't... So that's probably going to stop working too now, I would guess. Because I am setting the... Yeah, no, okay, I know what's happening. Because I am in here setting the input mode to UI only, and I don't want to do that anymore. So this should now work. And I can go through. Only thing that doesn't work is, for some reason, when I use that, it doesn't end it. But I'm guessing it won't with the mouse now too, now that I think about it. So this, yeah, so that's an issue with something that I... let's see. So, oh, we have this, and then call on and screen. Auto remove. True. Then we remove from parent. I guess we always want to remove from parent, right? But what we didn't do is we didn't call out this this event dispatcher with that. So yeah, I think we have massively simplified that code as well now, which is good. I don't like dealing with inputs in UI stuff. It's always a pain. The actual fuck. Call on end screen doesn't do anything. How about you fuck off in that case? Yeah, so this mouse button down thing can just leave. This is the last, then we re-enable input, and otherwise we don't do anything. That makes sense. Oh, because I control Z through a couple of things. Okay, now everything should work. It's the 50th time I've said that today. And it's probably only like the 10th time that it's actually gonna work. Which is 1 in 5 is not too bad of a record, I'd say. Yep, that works. And we are good to go. Something is weird about that animation now. Every time I fix something, I break something new. And there's still this goddamn collision box in here somewhere. Or not. Well, at least I fixed that. Fuck, no I didn't. Okay, let's actually check this out, because this might be... I can't even click on it. Like, show... collision. It's this thing. What is this thing? Iron bar sphere parent. Oh! Yeah, we gotta get the fuck. We gotta get rid of that. That's a thing that's there. Okay. That's invisible. Why can't I delete this? Hello? Objects, levels, wall, open. Sure. Don't think we are using that anymore anyway. Bridge open, yeah, no. Okay, I think we figured it out. Coding in Blueprint or C++, a little bit of both. We've done a little bit of both today, actually. The widget stuff that we just figured out, I do all that on Blueprint because it's just easier to do interactive stuff like that with immediate feedback. And a lot of like more systematic code. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with any of that. A lot more like systematic stuff I tend to do in C++ is what I was going to say before I interrupted myself. Yeah, the collision issue is gone, so that's good. But now what's the other issue that we had with the animation? What happened there? Player gas abilities attack 5. Like this thing is doing weird stuff. Spawn particles, yeah, now that makes sense. Why is it ending it too quickly though? What's actually why? 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I span through it, I know, I think I know. No, maybe not actually. 1, 2, 3. So let's go back to the idea of printing out the attack names. We don't need to have this in there anymore. Did I restart here? We print get class display name. The fuck is your issue? Oh, I guess we just get a reference to self, and then we get class from that. That's how we did it. Sure, let's do it that way. So that is just dash 2, 3, 4, 5. It's called dash because I'm an idiot. It's supposed to be called 1. Don't judge me. So that's dash 2, dash 2, 3, 4, 5, dash. Does it do 5 actually? Hold on, did it do 5 at all? It does 5 and then immediately... Oh, I killed him too quickly. He needs more help for me to test my stuff. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the issue is that I can just cancel out of attack 5 too quickly when there's an enemy nearby. When there's an enemy nearby, I can cancel out of attack. Okay, so I guess what's... Must be one of these two that's fucking with that. Or maybe simply my sword attack 5 just doesn't have the proper tag set up. Ability tag, attack basic, block abilities with attack basic. The others all have that, right? No, they don't. Oh, but they shouldn't. Oh, yeah, they should actually. Let's see what that feels like. Fucking sword dash because it's named badly. Does that make things worse or better? Might make them worse. Might fix the issue though. Okay, it doesn't fuck that up, so that's good. But it might save me from this issue. Seems to be saving me from this issue, so that's good. Okay, cool. That's fixed. Another off-topic question. I'm trying to follow your C++ course for the twin tech should VFX. You said would look different for a mesh component. It's been a while since I made that, man. I mean, it would effectively be the same thing, right? Because just adding a mesh component is the same as adding a particle component. Right? Like, the way you do that would be effectively the same thing. You just, like, make a U static mesh instead of a U Niagara component or whatever. Let's see, do I have a static mesh on this? No, I might not. Hold on. So yeah, these are all the components on my player, and some input actions thrown in as well because I'm bad at organizing apparently. Okay, let's go to the weapon. So this is my weapon class here, and we have somewhere in here the components. So it's literally just like U static mesh components pointer weapon static mesh, and then in the constructor here, of course, we then for the weapon mesh, when you create default sub-objects, of course you put in the static mesh component instead of the Niagara component. So that should be the only difference. Of course, you do need the relevant include up here for the U static mesh component, which is fucking hell. I don't need any of these includes apparently. Which is in here somewhere, surely. Wait, what? Am I just not seeing it? Maybe Actor just has that included by default. Because... Or was it in that thing that I just deleted? Okay, for some reason I don't have the include for that here. I don't know why, but it seems to be functioning, so... I figure you would need an include, but I don't have one and it works. So, but otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's just include. Probably in components, static mesh components. That's what it would be. But apparently you don't need it. So I'm guessing the base actor class also includes the static mesh component for you already. Unless I do it here in the header file, which would be bad. Yeah, no, I don't. So I'm guessing the base actor class just does that for you then. Fucking, where is my... it doesn't. No idea why it's not yelling at me about that include, if I'm being real with you, because it definitely should be. Anyway, that's the include if you need it. Apparently I don't for some reason. Really confusing. Anyway, well, we fixed that UI issue. That's good. That's been bugging me for a couple of weeks. So, what's next? I guess while we're at UI stuff, might as well take a look at the pause menu. Because... Why? Oh, input mode, game only. Yeah, that makes sense. On construct, set focus. Okay, that by default does seem to work. Just the up and down navigation for my controller doesn't work, I don't think. Or anything else for that matter. Wait. Man, the PS5 controller is being weird. It's just got weird button mappings, I think. Maybe. I can pause. And then none of the buttons do anything while paused using the controller here. Yeah, I feel that that's going to be an issue that's going to require me to do some other stuff, if I'm being real. Although, oh, I'm hitting the microphone, I'm sorry about that. Although, when I don't think it's in level blueprint anymore, is it? No, it's in start game. Actually, probably could just do that in here instead. So on constructs, set focus should be on new game button to begin with. Why isn't it? Oh, it is. Okay, never mind. They are in the vertical box, so they should just have navigation out of the box. So if I do this, no. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna call it here for today. It's my brain's just, again, I just did a game jam over the weekend. It's not helping me stay particularly like sharp and potentially even awake at the moment. And I really I don't see anything that I can reasonably work on for like 20 to 30 minutes at this point. That doesn't also involve me spending potentially like an hour or more troubleshooting things on Google. And we've done a couple of things. So I think we're going to take it easy here. I'm going to be back on Thursday with, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll do some level design. Maybe we'll do some art creation. How about that? Should we do some Blender stuff? Maybe we should do some Blender stuff. I don't know. I feel like we should just be like walking through this dungeon and getting this fixed up. And there's also like a lot of enemies here that need to probably be fixed up. Look at this fucking guy and his collision box. He needs to be replaced. So there's a few things that we probably like need to fix up about this dungeon. We can start looking into that. And I think come Thursday, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start playing the game. And anytime I run into an issue, we fix that issue. And we don't stop until we have beaten both boss fights. Or the stream time ends. Like there's gonna be some amount of like reasonability within. I'm not gonna stream for that much longer than like 2.5 to 3 hours. But I think that's gonna be the plan. That will make sure that everything that I need to have finished is finished. Or at least functional. And then we'll see what happens after that. Well, we're getting close to maybe like having a couple of people playtest this new version as well, which can be very, very interesting indeed. But until then, it's been a good one. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat again. It's always appreciated, and I will see you all on Thursday.